Hello guys, my name is Jake Yulish, and this is my website. I used Weebly. Weebly was a very useful creator. It has a bunch of features over on the left side. At the top you have the sections and the pages and themes. And before you create your website, it gives you the choice to use a blank one or to use an already designed template. Okay, alright, alright guys, this is the course outline of my website, and below at the very first is my Google Forms. The Google Forms is a tool that you need a Gmail account to access in order to create it. You don't need it to access though, that wasn't the right word I used. Um, just to create it. And it's located, if you go to Drive, and then on the very bottom you can see more, and then it'll be in there. Very easy tool to use, very straightforward. There's different things you can use for it, such as you can make the questions open-ended, true and false, multiple choice, and it has a bar graph that if you use true and false and multiple choice, you can see how many students picked on which answer. So you can use this to help students study for a quiz or test, make games for in class, or like I plan on doing on the first day of class, I want to get to know all my students by having a survey that I can make them all do. Below that was a QR code to link to a survey that I did. The next tool is a Voki Avatar Creator. This one was a lot of fun. You get to make an avatar based on how you view yourself. The tool was really easy and straightforward to use. You have different backgrounds you can access, and you have a lot of different characters or avatars to choose from. However, there's a premium version, so the things you can do with this are limited, but it's still pretty cool for it being free. Cool thing about this is you can have students make an online presence and introduce some fun into the classroom very safely. If they submit anything online, they can have their avatar with them. Alright, and below was a link to my avatar. Alright, so the next tool that we're going to use or go over is the Screencast. I use Screencast-O-Matic. There is another one called Jing, but I chose to use Screencast-O-Matic. The Screencast basic function is you take something on your laptop or computer and you record it, and you can use it as a presentation tool. The bad thing about this is that it is limited on time. So like the time limit for the free version is 15 minutes. I'm not entirely sure what it is for the paid version because I didn't pay for it. But a good way to use this is that you could have the students, if you miss a day of class, you can have the sub show a screencast that you made explaining to the students what they're going to do for that day. Also, if any students have any questions, they can email you, and should it be something you could go over, send them a presentation, you could use a screencast to do that and make it a lot easier for you. And below is my screencast on how to change a tire. Alright, so on this page of my website, this is the About Me page, my story, and I put my Powtoon on this. Powtoon is a presentation tool that utilizes images and a video. Moreover, like PowerPoint, you skip to each slide and have a whole bunch of text on it. This one was really cool. The template that we used was introducing ourselves. Below is my Powtoon and embed code. The negative that I thought about it was that it seemed to overload it with images. The positives is that it can be shown as a video, and I think the way that I would use this in class is to start my day and give them a brief video on what we'll be doing using this tool. Change up the pace a little bit before we get into the presentation stuff. Okay, alright, so on this part of my website It's the tools section, and on it I have some of the tools that we use throughout the semester. The first one's going to be Adobe Spark. Adobe Spark is a tool that makes a short video, and you can incorporate music and different background images. And it would, mine below is an example of how my media life looks like. This could be good for students to be able to present without having to put any, like, their face or anything on it, and it'd make it more fun for them to present. Instructors and teachers could also present this in a class as a different way and changing it up. The thing that I didn't like the most about it, though, is that it is a video. Like, you can't really present this as a slide. So, as far as presenting goes, I would say I would only use it as an introduction to what my presentation could be about. The positives is, though, that it's fun, it's extremely helpful, and it's free. The next one, I combined these two together because I did QR codes and my Piktochart, but the first thing we'll go over is the Piktochart. The Piktochart is an infographic tool that is a different way of presenting than the normal, just a slide by slide. And this stuff could even be printed out and used on poster board. This is what I'd probably encourage my students to use if we had to do poster board presentations, when I have them do poster board presentations. And as you can see below it, you can put in a works cited page, and then powered by Piktochart for copyright law reasons. The only bad thing is, you see how I kind of use titles here? This is a different section. What I wish it could have been all connected together and just changed one section. The background color would have made it easier and quicker for me. Nevertheless, though, it still looks good and it's a lot of fun, and you can utilize minimum text and pictures that help kids be more willing to present stuff. The positives is that multiple different ways to use this. The number one being that it's a really good way for students to present. Instead of using PowerPoint, show them how to do this, and then they could print this stuff out, cut it out, and put it on a poster board. Or make this entire thing their poster board. That'd be really cool. The next tool is going to be QR codes. As it was in the course outline, QR codes make it possible to get a QR code reader on your phone. Just scan it and it'll take you to a direct link. Here's how to create them. This is a QR code creator. This QR code will take you to the QR code creator. They're really cool, and there's multiple ways of using these. As you can see, that's in the library. This right here is my favorite idea. When I teach in a classroom, what I want to do is like put pictures up of historical figures, historical places, battles, and I'm gonna have a QR code below it. And if my students get done with something and we have more of a study hall day, I'm gonna encourage them to have a QR code reader on their phone and scan it, and it'll take it there, and it'll either take them to a short text or a short video, and they'll be able to learn about it, which I think is really cool and would be a really great way for students to learn. The bad thing is about this, though, students will need a smart device to be able to access the QR codes. Most students, I believe, have them. Unfortunately, however, probably not all students will. So there is that. You also need internet to connect it. But other than that, I really like the idea of QR codes. Alright, so on this part of my website is the assessment tools, and we'll be starting off with the Goose Chase app. The Goose Chase app and website encourages students to be active in learning and this isn't just good for students, this is also good for adults. It can be a survey creator. So how I would use this in my classroom is, if I'm teaching freshmen in high school, this is how I would do their orientation. Have them go around using the Goose Chase app and find different things, such as different locations, their locker, so on and so forth. Little kids more could use this, especially if they get to go outside for recess and have fun, or just go outside for science classes and stuff. I could also use this because I'll be teaching history for them to find specific historical figures. The really cool thing about this is that it does get students active, and it's really easy to use, and students just access it through a game code that the instructor sends them. The bad thing is about this is that students, again, will need a device to be able to activate this and internet access. I plan on teaching in a low-income school. I don't know if they will have those, but if they don't, I'll have to adapt, and unfortunately I won't be able to use this form of assessment tools. The next one that we're going to go over is a Socrative Test Creator. Socrative Test Creator, I put on there that it could be used for games and giving students bonus points, but it is basically quiz creator. How I did it, I did a mock test, and that's the link that it will take you to. I would use this specifically only to create quizzes for my students. I wouldn't try to make a test. You could use this as a study guide, give like 30 questions, or you could use this for a pop quiz, because if the students have the devices to be capable, again, this is going back, the students need to have the devices. This was also fairly tricky to use. I struggled understanding it a little bit, but the positives is that it's short and easy to create, short and easy for the kids to take, and it's all online, so it'll grade itself, and then they'll have it submitted to you. And if you do this as a form of bonus points or a study guide, you can just have the students submit it to you, and then you can see what you need to work on. The next tool is Quizalize. Quizalize is a little bit more fun, and it can be used in the classroom as a study guide. More activities to help students. The positives about this is that this one would be a lot better to use as a study guide, where Socrative was more of a quiz taking tool. Again, the negatives is the students will need to find a way to access this, but overall this tool is very easy to use and very quick, and it could be a lot of fun to be used in the classroom. The next one is Rubistar. Rubistar is just a rubric creator, very straightforward, very easy. I didn't have any negatives about this, but I don't understand how to get a link to, if you need to upload this, how to get the link to be active when you upload it. Alright, and the last one we're going to go over is Kahoot. Kahoot is an activity for class. Real easy to use. You make a couple questions and then ask your students questions in class. Actually, you don't even have to ask them. It'll be on a board. And that's the thing I don't like about this at all, is that it's on two different screens, and all the students need a device. If a student sits in the back and it can't see far away, this will severely hurt them. And people might not have an understanding on how to see the colors and the shapes on them. But other than that, this would be a great activity to do in class. And it's very easy to create, very easy to access. Again, though, the students will need the devices to access them. This is the end of my website and my presentation. Hope you like it, Dr. Hoover. Just remember that one time I bought you Chick-fil-A and a milkshake.